My name is Kyle Parsons. I am the Manager of Inclusion and Community Engagement here at the Minnesota Historical Society.
My name is Danielle Dart, and I run public programs for adults at the Minnesota History Center.
Richard Josie, Manager of Programs for Historic Sites and Museums.
Joey Novacek. I work in our Department of Inclusion and Community Engagement. I'm an associate.
This film is Hands Up, Don't Shoot Our Youth movement. We know that everybody here has seen that. Can you maybe talk about this particular film and why is it even necessary to have this film and have a screening in an institution like this? That what is the positives around that?
To be able to present to you all the film screening of Hands Up, Don't Shoot Our Youth movement. We'll get ready to turn things over to Brother Ralph to engage in some conversation and some dialogue. Encourage y'all if there's any questions or thoughts that you all have, that we take this time to be able to talk through those things and explore. Moving from this idea of informing people to empowering people is what we're really trying to do. And with the film Hands Up, Don't Shoot Our Youth movement, it's national relevance.
But we have Kimberly here as an academic, and then you'll hear from Ralph and Brenda about their different relationships to Baltimore stories. But Ralph, I will say this, and you can see the video out there, came to, we brought him to the University of Maryland to show one of his documentaries on Hands Up, Don't Shoot the Youth Movement. And he was so good that we circled back for Baltimore Stories. And his impact on the project, I think, has been pretty profound in ways that I think you'll hear later on.
For me personally, it was a powerful film.
The thing that I think I was encouraged by was hearing from voices that the media didn't necessarily allow us to see before. And that's important in any sort of civil discourse, and us trying to decide what kind of society we want to be, is that we have to understand different people's perspectives and different people's truths, and start to explore those so that we can redefine, what we understand and what we know. Hearing from the different people in the documentary, for me, after I saw it, left me with a sense of realizing how much I didn't know and how much I needed to explore, which has been manifested in conversations I've had since I've seen it.
My desired goal in all this is just to figure out your role in it, how you participate in these issues. I'm not necessarily trying to give an answer to anybody. The main thing what we was trying to do is just, number one, document history, present another narrative in terms of media. As you know, independent media is very valuable.
For me, it was very powerful, and I want other people who belong to the Minnesota Historical Society or who might be drawn to the screening, I want them to have that same opportunity.
How did it feel to actually be there in Ferguson, and the energy? Well, I guess my question is like the energy.
The energy?
That was displayed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how did you go about selecting your interviewees? The folks that you interviewed.
What I find most exciting about Hands Up, Don't Shoot Our Youth movement is, when I first watch it, is that the connection to history. That events like the murder of Mike Brown aren't just created by what's happening right now. There's a deep history in Ferguson, there's a deep history in Minnesota, Minneapolis and St. Paul, that has all contributed to the things that we see happening in the news. And I feel like it's important for us to give people opportunities to make those connections and to see the deep roots of the inequities, and to see them here. Not just that they happen somewhere else, but that to help them make the connection to here through the film. Even though it's, in St. Louis, it's out in Missouri, it's the same story, I think, in a lot of ways.
It's no coincidence that this man right here and Philando Castile are buried in the same cemetery in St. Louis. That's factual. So we're living in history in present day, you know, February, what is this, the 4th? 2017. You know, this is still going on to this day.
The fact that this sort of connection from contemporary to historical and vice versa goes a long way. I mean, specifically, we're excited to show this at Fort Snelling because, as is talked about in the documentary, that's where Dred Scott and his family lived and were enslaved. And the reason that he sued for his freedom is because he spent time in Minnesota, which was supposedly a free territory at the time. So I think making that connection is really powerful, and being in that space and viewing that documentary, I think, is something that we're all very excited about, I think.
The first thing, and I guess I could start off as I get ready to pass the mic over to you, brother, is in terms of the imagery coming from the film and the like, I'd be interested to know, like, what is your desired outcome? You know, from people seeing this film, like, what would you want people to leave thinking, understanding, and feeling? So I'll turn it over to you, bro.